We have so many things happening in the bees community, but one of the true stars of the whole commotion that's going on is the Star Wire crew. And of course, one of the heroes of the Star Wire group is Garnet Campbell. And today he's got a few things to show us all. This is the Swarm Unplugged podcast, where we introduce you to the best and the brightest in the crypto universe, with thousands of ideas to learn from people in all areas of crypto. We want to explore as many as possible. I'm Christopher Knight. Let's get started. It's always a pleasure to see everybody on the Swarm Unplugged, and we appreciate all of you being here, as many of you do follow us, and we appreciate it so very much. Today's going to be a little different because our co-host, Tony K, is traveling, and I think he's trying to come into the studio, but we'll find out if he's able to as we move along. But he's traveling now on a business trip down to the Gulf Coast, and like I say, he'll try to get in if he can. But let's move on, and before he arrives, and let's move on and introduce our guest today, Garnet Campbell of Starwire. Garnet, good to have you on the Swarm Unplugged today, my friend.
Good to be here.
You have a lot of things going on, don't you?
We stay busy. We do. Man, you know, I'm kind of jealous of your intro graphics. Like, I'm kind of thinking we need to come hire you guys to do something for Star Talk. So well, like that 3D and lightning bolts and all that stuff.
Well, you'll need to write the invoice. Will come from our tech director, Rick Scherer, but the payment will come to me. So we'll handle that any other way that you choose to for that particular activity. I'm sure Rick wouldn't mind at all. He's got more money than he can handle anyway, with all of his NFTs that he's bought and so forth. So anyway, thank you for that on the Rick's behalf and on the Swarm Unplugged's behalf. You have got something very special going on that I have not seen anywhere else for the most part. We did have a guest last week that had NFTs that could change clothes and hats and glasses, just for the push of a button. But nothing in the area of music. Why don't you tell me a little bit about NFT's Got Talent?
Yeah. Well, of course, NFT's Got Talent is it's the brainchild of Dora Witt, who is part of the Starwire team. And, when we started building Starwire and the new NFT series, the All-Star Goats, obviously we're all about entertainment and creating and producing entertainment products. So, we've been so focused on kind of the crypto side of what we're building and the artwork of the NFTs, you kind of forgot for a second what we actually normally do day by day, which is actually produce music and produce videos, right? And I'm here kind of on set today in a not our studio, someone else's studio, and we're just setting the lights for a Christmas video that we're going to be shooting tonight. So this is like regular part of our life. And Dora said, why don't we do that? Why don't we find some talent, and then do what we do, which is, help them write songs, help get the video shot, and create some entertainment products to be enjoyed by the planet, right? So Dora had been on Twitter Space, said, hey, let's do a contest. And it was like the most brilliant idea. So for the past couple weeks, every day we've been on Twitter Spaces, meeting kind of young, sometimes raw talent from, around the globe. we've been keeping a global map of all the different countries that are people who have been auditioning to come from. And it's been just a fun experience every day listening to these people, take out their phone, because Twitter Spaces is all audio, it's not video. But just to jump on a group call and start singing into their phone without any fancy reverb microphones or effects and stuff like that. And we've had these amazing kind of real heart-to-heart moments with all these people that we're meeting. And of course, the result is going to be we're going to connect those people with our musical mentors and coaches, and hopefully create something amazing and beautiful.
You don't happen to have any examples of what you've done yet, do you?
Well, we're here in this studio, which I kind of call this a COVID studio, because a year ago when things started to lock down, there was a group of musicians and they said, hey, we don't want to be stopped. And they basically converted their I don't know, it's like a 3-car garage into a little indoor studio, wired it up. Kind of over here, you can see a little bit of the mixing desk that they're using, the multi-track, multi-camera little setup they did, just sort of putting together their own version, and not to be slowed down or stopped. But if you can play a little video of something that's been recorded in this little garage studio, if you want, whenever you want, to give that.
Now, this is what you normally do. As you said, we've kind of lost sight of what we normally do, and you then began to tie them together, right? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, what I'm saying is, Colin, who co-founded Starwire, he, was a full-time touring musician, right? So his normal thing was being out on the road, touring, writing songs, recording. He's an artist, and there is a certain just lifestyle of people who are creating. My side, from the filmmaking background, we're this is not our set, but someone else's set. But typically we're out there empowering independent artists. That's kind of our core base gifts. The way we bring crypto and blockchain and NFTs into that's sort of, we're bringing that knowledge set and combining it with our normal routine, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Combining the two, though, is the best way to do it. You're not just starting from a concept that just happened to pop in your head. You're actually mixing two talents together and growing it even better with a lot more foundation, I think.
Yeah. I think, with film and music, there's just been the traditional ways that we share those. It's been evolving, now maybe, think of music and videos, you think Spotify and YouTube, and people have been very successful using those platforms. Now that, blockchain technology, NFTs have emerged, it's a new, I would say, disruptive technology that, because maybe we have a little bit of a head start or advantage because we've been working in, blockchain for 2 years already. The idea of applying it to our creative work and processes is, I don't know, we're ready to experiment a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, and go beyond sort of the traditional ways that people are selling NFTs now and try to enhance it a bit.
Well, let's get another opinion. I see that our co-host Tony K has arrived, so let's let him say a few words.
Hey,
Tony, you look good. You look good, Tony.
Can you
What's happening?
can you hear me?
You're doing fine. Yeah.
All
Where
right,
are
cool.
you?
Yeah. So I just got into Louisiana, and my business partner Mark, hi Garnet,
hey,
hi Rick, hi Chris. he
Yeah. Thanks.
So here's what's funny. I didn't get on a direct flight because I didn't want him to wait for me for 2 hours in Louisiana for our meetings that we're here for. So I got on a several different connections to get here. And so my day started about 2 o'clock this morning instead of what I thought it was going to be, which was going to be about 3:30. And I get here and he's just left Minneapolis on a direct flight. So he's not going to be here for another 2.5 hours. I'm like, really? Seriously? So there's my day. So I'm at the airport. So here I am.
Well, I'm glad you were able to join us. We've been talking
Well,
about NFTs, my friend.
yeah. I first of all, I tried like crazy to get on my iPad. So now my phone is using my iPad as a stand. So I'm kind of using my iPad indirectly, but it just wouldn't let me get in. So I think Chris was there hitting the button saying nope, 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 reject.
Well, I was. Yeah, I kept kicking you out. That's what I did. Yeah.
I'm saying Apple technology is good for a stand.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm
Thank you,
saying.
Garnet. I appreciate that. That was a good. I like that, Garnet. I really do.
Oh, that hurt.
Yes.
So
And
NFTs. What are NFTs? What are they? I forgot.
oh, yeah, you're catch up with us. Catch up with us here. We've already talked about NFTs and the music side of it. And
Yeah.
actually, right now, I think would be a good time to show a music video that Garnet has done in those Guerrilla Studios. Let's call it. Just
Yeah, that's good. Guerrilla Studios.
Guerrilla Studios. Let's play a video of a music that he's done himself, and let comment as you would on this, Garnet.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, this was not myself. This was a team. Actually, the singer there, Bish from South Africa, he was a big part of putting this studio together. I like this video because it had that big stand-up bass in there, and kind of the idea of ways that you can use even small spaces to your advantage. Shoot something, light it, get a small team together. And the audio from this too was recorded live, multi-tracked. So you can, a video like this, you can turn around fairly quickly.
Okay. Now, will you be doing this? Will you be doing this with your music NFTs?
We'll have to see. Ultimately, first step is just to get the song written and recorded. So we're starting right at scratch. This would be the sort of ultimate, depending on what kind of song it is or what kind of story it's telling. The videos can, end up looking like anything. What will that song be? What is the tone? Is it fun? Do we need flamethrowers or falling flower petals? We don't know yet. That's
Okay.
kind of the fun of it.
Well, the flamethrowers might be interesting with a flamethrower instead of an upright flame, but that's all right. Whatever you can come up with might burn the studio up. Now, I know that Tony, you're coming in just kind of on as we're in the middle of it. I know you've got some questions on music and the NFTs that they're doing and their goats and all that. So why don't you ask a few here, because he's got limited time for us today, just so you know.
Well, one of the things that I'd like to find out about, if I can, on it, is how, if I was a musician, and you came to me, how would you pitch? Hopefully, you haven't already talked about this, but how would you approach me? And you wanted to represent and get me into the crypto space. How would you explain NFTs, goats, anything else to attach that? How would you do that?
Yeah. Well, when you talk to musicians and talk about the pain points that they experience in, number one, creating their art and then trying to distribute it and publish it, you'd probably find a lot of artists are complaining, hey, my song is on Spotify, but I'm not making any money off of it.
Well,
Even
he might be getting 0.5%, right?
yeah, just like they're not being rewarded properly, and there's not really a tool for them to actually grow their own fan base. And so NFTs, number one, can do a couple of things. Because the other thing musicians are always looking for, they need capital either to buy their gear to go on a tour or to, pay for a recording, get a video shot, something like that. That costs money, or you have to have a bunch of motivated friends who are willing to help you out for free or something like that. So, in the crypto space, there's a number of things that we can address their problems specifically. Number one, in raising money, we can create rather than Kickstarter, everyone's kind of familiar, and Kickstarter has done really well with the idea of, hey, come donate $10 and sort of pre-buy our video or our song, and you're giving a gift, and we'll send you a thank you, and we'll send you a copy of the MP3. When crypto, because the idea of with smart contracts, we can sort of program the way the revenue is shared. You can bring on not just a person, say, giving a donation of $10, but you could have an investor, say, donate 5,000, 10,000, and participate in the revenue stream that happens after that with the security, the transparency. So, what crypto and smart contracts can do is create a space of trust between groups of people. And when you have that trust going on, then there can be real value in that, in the kind of.
Yeah, but how do the goats and how do they come into it? I mean, you're calling it, so obviously I know that your NFT is a goat, but
Yep.
again, if I knew nothing about anything and you came to me and said, hey, here, I want you to get a goat, so you got an NFT, I'm going to go, wait, what? You want me to be a farmer?
Okay. So yeah, what is the compelling reason to actually, if I'm a musician, to have a goat? So number one, the goats give you access to the community. You become a member of this group who are all, I guess, wanting to see creative projects. So the goats have I call it governance mechanism to them. It gives you a voice to have a vote, a verified vote. So the idea of goats coming in, creative goats can come in, write a proposal to access the goat treasury, right? And so if you have an idea for a song or a movie, say, hey, I'm a goat. I'd like the rest of the herd to vote on whether or not they like my idea and whether they will release funding for this particular project. And if they get the green light, funds are released to them, they make their song, and they have to share that revenue with the rest of the herd. Does that make sense?
So if everybody agrees it's a great project and they all vote on it basically because you've got the voting right, because you got one of these goats, which gives you the ability to be able to voice your opinion, obviously, then the reward of it is if it goes great and whatever you put into it, as far as investments and everything else, you're going to be able to recoup that as long as you keep that goat, as long as you keep that that ownership of the goat itself, so you just keep getting revenue. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. As long as you're holding a goat, you're a member, you can access the platforms that we're creating. You'll not only have access to the software Starwire is creating, but kind of our people itself. Like we
Okay,
say
so
that.
so back up for me, Garnet. You just said we can access the software for Starwire. So now you're going into a different area. So what you're saying is the goat has more than just the application or the use case for it is not just to maybe put a song out there or whatever. You're saying it can access anything that Starwire is going to do or currently does or has done, and you're going to be able to maybe entertain and see if it fits. Is that am I hearing that right?
Yeah, if you consider the goat as kind of like the backstage pass that you would wear around your neck, if you
Right.
don't have one, you don't get access. And like I say, the access can be to a platform or it can be to people itself too. Another company that we work closely with is SessionWire, which enables online recording, person to person, in a professional way that connects their DAWs or digital audio workstation together. And
So do you need?
SessionWire
So do
has.
you need? So sorry to interrupt you, Garnet. So do you need a separate goat to get into SessionWire, or is that the same goat? Just so I'm clear.
No, the goat won't necessarily provide you access to SessionWire software itself. Actually, their software is free right now. But say, for example, maybe there's a famous group that you really love, and they're actually recording. They're doing a recording session, laying down a guitar track, or maybe it's your favorite guitar player, like John Mayer or something like that. There could be events where if you have a goat, you can actually watch that recording session while it's happening live, right? And so, and if you're a musician, you can open those things up to your community, exclusive perks for goat holders, that kind of thing. Like when you
tell
think
me
of
this. Sorry, Garnet, I've interrupted you again, but I keep doing that. I apologize. So how do you see the goat as far as its value? Let's say, for argument's sake, it costs me $200, $300, $400, $500, whatever, to buy a goat. Is that something that if somebody else says, hey, you know what, I'm not going to be using this goat anymore, I want to trade it, or I want to sell it, or I want to get rid of it, is there a platform, or is there, how does somebody else be able to get the option for that? Or is there just so many goats that people can get, or is it infinite? I mean,
yeah, no,
how does that work?
there's about 10,000 goats. And, if you bought 2 goats or whatever, and someone really wants one of those, depending how rare they are or how many people are willing to part with them, you can buy it just person to person, or you can buy it off like a marketplace like OpenSea, something like that.
Right.
They'll
Well,
be
that
for
already
sale.
is the number that you just quoted is not a huge amount for the world anyway. So considering the amount of artists across the globe, I mean, that's not a huge number. So one would think that if you do have one, then obviously it's going to gain value just because you own something, and the busier and bigger it gets, one would assume that was going to get that goat to have a lot more value, is what the assumption is, obviously, right?
Yeah. And I mean, like our network obviously is going to grow beyond, 10,000 artists. The goats is the beginning of that community. It's going to be a very privileged kind of group who are kind of the first to come and engage, and there's going to be rewards for them, right? And it's all part of, the ultimate vision is a global entertainment empire, right? From South Korea, Japan, down to Africa. We're already, that's what's cool about NFT's Got Talent. We're seeing, just independent artists, singers, who've never been recorded before, saying like, wow, I've got a song to share. And that's, step by step, it's just building a community to empower those individual artists. And it starts with a goat.
All right. Now, I know we're pressing you for on your schedule right now, Garnet. But before we close, of course, I want Rick to come on here in a moment too and ask any questions. But before we close, what is it that the Be Social community and folks like us can do to help Starwire grow?
Yeah. Well, the bees have already done, so much in that we are a crypto network, and there are certain pain points in entering into this space. We get a lot of brand new people that say, well, like, this sounds so cool, like what you're talking about. I've never heard of NFTs before, these digital certificates. They sound really cool. How do I, like, what are my first steps? Like, how do I kind of participate with you guys? And that comes back to, what the bees are so good at is educating people. And, whether it's coming on to the Discord channel, watching shows like this, where they just learn a little bit. We talked today about music and NFTs. We're just skimming the surface of the possibilities. We know it's going to be a continual evolution of change, the way people interact with musicians and bands. And the bees are that place you go to learn. What do I do? Well, you're going to need a MetaMask wallet. And you're going to, I've got a good friend named Chris, and he's done this, 100 times before. Chris is going to walk you through this, or it might be someone from Ecuador who already knows that. And it's this community of people, educating people in crypto, educating them in NFTs, how it all works. That's kind of the power of the bees. And even for me, I'm we learn a day by day, just in us hanging out together, talking. Oh, what did you guys learn today? I learned something. This is an educational space, even for the leaders who are, implementing some of these new technologies, the new ideas, new ways that we're going to use it. It's learning. The power of community cannot be overestimated.
Sure. Garnet, let me ask you something. Actually, Chris, do you think Rick might have something that he can throw in? Because Rick's really...
Yeah, that's I wanted to call Rick in. I just wanted him to finish up that and ask Rick to chime in, my friend, because you really do enjoy your NFTs.
Well, thank you, and welcome, Garnet. I know you're pressed for time, and appreciate a little inside preview of a garage studio, if you will. And the result of that YouTube that we saw earlier is quality that you would think would cost tens of thousands of dollars, and I'm sure it didn't. And I think the people that are engaged in NFTs Got Talent, I think that's going to be a phenomenal ability for people who have never been, noticed before, and they can't even get on America's Got Talent, and now you're trailing them in a very, very big way. And last night, for example, I can't believe the voice that came out of what was it? Mariah. She was like, oh my God.
Yep.
Amazing. And just on the NFT note, we never know exactly what the NFT assets will yield, because all of us are growing in what we can offer. So today it might be a backstage pass to an event, but the future is unlimited as far as what an NFT holder with a strong organization, a strong group behind them can provide. And it's very exciting for the NFT industry.
You know what my problem is, Garnet? I think that with Chris and Rick, if they were to get goats, it would be difficult for me because I don't know if they're going to be showing their goat or them faces, because they both look like goats to me. So it's going to be difficult to differentiate between their NFTs. And
Tony, I've got
okay.
control, and I can remove you in 10 seconds.
Yeah. I brought you in, and I can take you out right there. All right.
But we're all excited about your goats. We just had a history-making moment today in the bees. We took the snapshot for the whitelist and the honey list, and the whitelist allows the bees to mint 1. The honey list allows them to mint 5, and the snapshot was just taken 32 minutes ago. So you cannot imagine how active the Social Bees University Discord site was. It was madness for the last 3 days, nonstop.
Wow.
I don't know when or what hour you look at it. Could be 2 a.m, 4 a.m, 6. That was like amazing, and great
There's
job on the
people
bees.
popping the champagne bottles.
Oh yes, and little nugget. Even though we took the snapshot, which is the first 138 people for the honey list, we were notified there's going to be honey list B. So don't give up. You guys keep on leveling up to get that honey list B going.
No pun intended. Honey list B. Shouldn't it be honey list C so we don't get confused?
No.
Hey guys, I got a jet.
All right, Garnet. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Yep.
And it's always a pleasure, my friend. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you, Garnet.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Garnet.
And so, gentlemen, when it comes to NFTs and building it out, they're building it out strong. And I think making some very creative moves with their NFT. Wouldn't you agree, Rick?
I do. And I think we're just really touching on the beginning of the use case of NFTs. And lots of people have a lot to learn, and they really need to open up, their mind in spending the time to understand the value of them, why, you should have or buy one for a particular group or organization. And I know there's a lot of people still have those blinders on that are, saying, well, I'm not into these pictures. I don't need an NFT. I don't even know what they are. And by the way, what's an FNG? Thank you, Patrick. But I think they need to open their eyes, or they're going to be passed up.
All right. Thank you there. And Tony K., you are amazing being able to get online from an airport. What's around you right now?
Well, I got to tell you, it's
Don't drop your kickstand. And there he goes. We just lost him.
He dropped everything. He dropped the computer, the phone, everything just fell off the table. Right there. Yeah. Well, we'll let him in. Okay. Well, you dropped yourself.
What's around me? Bad service.
Okay. All right. All right. Very good. Well, thanks for making it today. We appreciate it, and enjoyed your interaction with Garnet and Rick. Thank you very much for everything you do, my friend.
Rick.
You're welcome. Back to the control.
Have a safe trip, Tony.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Appreciate
Bye-bye.
You.
See ya. A wonderful, wonderful time together, especially with friends and with folks who are being so creative in the bees social community. For now, I really simply want to tell you all to listen, learn, and give. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Swarm Unplugged podcast. Be sure to hit the follow button and leave us a glowing comment. Gravitate yourself to be on the podcast so you are the next one to introduce themselves to the Bee social community. See you on the next episode.